30-second intro, 1-minute verse, 30-second chorus, 1-minute verse, 30-second chorus repetition, 30-second breakdown, 30-second chorus repetition. This is the generic template for a pop or rock song. And if your rock album has 5 or 6 of these on it, your band is dead to me. When it comes to the topic of music, something I don't think is brought up enough is song structure. Song structure means a lot to me. I want to hear a song do something innovative with its structure, or at the very least have a structure that reflects what the song is. If you're trying to make a quick, punchy, fun song, it should probably be pretty short. If you want to have a song that's like grandiose and has this feeling of epicness to it, it's probably got to be like 5 or 6 minutes long. But if you're just doing the incredibly standard formula, the verse, chorus, breakdown, chorus, you gotta have something really special in there to add flavor to it. You better have a killer fucking riff that I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. You better have the catchiest chorus in the fucking world. You better have drum fills that are gonna catch my ear and send me spiraling, because if you're just using that basic formula and you've got less than any of that, then I've got 10 million other options of what song I can listen to instead of the bullshit you just put out. This song structure has literally ruined some of my favorite bands. There are bands that I was into who were doing interesting, innovative stuff, who then at some point just started making these generic rock songs, these 4.5-minute songs, and lost all their edge in the process. Bands that just gave up on having interesting ideas, it seems. What got me on this subject is the latest Manchester Orchestra album. This thing is buried in 4.5-minute rock songs, and every single one of them is fucking boring. They all have the same intro, just sort of a moody guitar chord progression and some very distant sounding instruments. Like, everything's very cleanly produced, more so than on any other albums. It's very atmospheric, except that there's like no one atmosphere. They're all just like mid-tempo, boring fucking sad songs, I guess. I don't know what the hell they are. All of them are fucking boring. They all sound like the same song over and over again, and immediately not just the same song as the other songs on the album, but the same song as every other rock band I've ever heard. And this is especially disappointing coming from this band who gave me the album Simple Math, which had 9 songs that were all completely different. Each one had its own unique vibe, its own structure, its own sound to it. You had the opening song, which doesn't even have verses or choruses. It's just this very soft, subtle, incredibly sad acoustic guitar and vocal track that is heartbreaking and really meaningful, and the sound of the song brings a lot to what's being said in the lyrics. And the only song on the album that is a 4.5-minute verse, chorus, breakdown, chorus song is one of the best songs on there, April Fool. And the reason that song works is that it fucking rips. The guitars are shredding and awesome. Like, there's these crunching fucking fills when it goes into the chorus, and there's just like the it's fucking heavy and cool, and the lyrics are really memorable. I've tried once, I've tried twice, I'm done. And great hooks, great lyrics, great instrumentation, and then they're gonna hit me with that exact song structure, but with no memorable riffs, no catchy choruses, just this really sort of boring humdrum singing over the same fucking noodly little guitar riff over and over again. You gotta be fucking kidding me. What happened to Manchester Orchestra? This is especially disappointing when these guys just did the soundtrack to Swiss Army Man, which was an entirely a cappella soundtrack, totally unique and out there. Where did that creative energy go when it came time to make a new Manchester Orchestra album? Another band this happened to in a big way was fucking Silversun Pickups. Their first album, 16 tracks, all very distinct from one another. There's maybe a couple that resemble each other, like there's more than one 5.5-minute epic build-up song. They're both interesting and different, like one's heavier and one's less, but some of the songs kind of resemble each other, I guess, but like there was just a huge palette of sounds. The album opens on this big, dreamy shoegaze song, and then goes into like a rock and roll jam. Pretty soon you got Little Ever So Polite, which is like this aired out fucking strung out in the back of a car on a midnight drive with an awesome guitar solo. Lazy Eye, which builds into this huge fucking immense like 2-minute soundscape in the middle of the song. That's like their most popular song, their most beloved song. And then somehow they follow that up with Swoon, and every song is 4.5 minutes long. Like, the entire fucking album is like that. And there's a couple okay songs in there, like Panic Switch is a great example of how to do the formula right because it has such a memorable bass line. Like, it is totally just this generic structure, but you will never forget the be-do-dee-do-dee-do-dee-do-dee-do. When you see yourself in a crowded room, do your fingers itch? Are you pistol whipped? You know, unforgettable chorus and bass progression. But then you hear the next song. I mean, fuck, I don't remember any other songs on the album besides the first 2 tracks. Like, that's it. That's all I remember from that. Then they hit you with Neck of the Woods, and it's just garbage from there on out. That band has not made a good album since their first one, and it's for this exact reason. They're just falling back on this crutch of this generic song structure. Shinsei Kamate-chan, a band I am livid that this happened to, because their first 4 albums are all some of my favorite albums of all time. This was a band who was known for their unhinged, insane creativity. Their lead singer was a psycho who would cut himself on stage. He was known for his incredibly personal, abrasive, just like brutal lyrics, screaming things like, I want to die, I don't want to die, I want to die, I don't want to die, kill me, kill me, kill me, for 5 minutes in one of their songs, you know, or the song Die Sato, which is about how he wants this guy Sato, who bullied him in high school, to die. This band, who experimented with suddenly bursting into like crazy electronic songs in the middle of their album, or having stuff that just was totally out there, these weird backwards riffs on songs like Abnormal Neat. And like, it's not that the band didn't play with like a standard song structure a lot of the time. They have plenty of songs like that, but all their songs were really unique from one another. All of them were totally different. And then suddenly with their 4th album, Tanoshine, then all of a sudden, like, they're just using the exact same structure in every song, and it's a structure that they had done better in the past. The opening song on To August 32nd, which is Geroi Hana, I think, something like that, Guroi Hana? Maybe? The opening song on August 32nd is, like, this 4.5 minute, or maybe it's even 5 minute long, like, big ostentatious song. Like, it's got the epic build, it's got the huge crescendo climax, which they would later do on every fucking song, but it had a really memorable hook that leads into that, and it had just it's a great song. And then the first song on Tanoshine is like the exact same song but worse, and then the next 3 songs are the exact same song but worse, and then their next couple albums are the exact same song but worse. And it's just, again, it's not just that they're putting together a whole album of basically one song, but that one song has been done millions of times. This is why I can't get into J-pop and J-rock, because those genres are just like inundated with this song structure. It's like everything is like this, and every once in a while I enjoy one. I liked the No Game No Life opening song because it has these great pianos throughout the whole thing, and it's a little bit like punchier than most, you know, or the opening theme to fucking, what's it called? The goddamn card game, Selector Infected Wecross, which has these soaring violins throughout the song that really catch my attention. So even though it's a, you know, generic 4.5 minute song, they've got catchy choruses and cool instrumentation, but like, you gotta have that. You have to have that. It has to have something that really catches me, or else I'm gonna be so fucking bored. I have had albums that I have just shut off after like a minute because they're following that format, and like, I hear the 16-bar intro that doesn't need to be there. Like, if your riff isn't the most memorable riff of all time, why do I have to hear 16 bars of it before you start singing? Cut that shit out. I don't need that shit. I don't need to be buttered up for a soft song. Fucking hit me with the point as soon as the song starts. Even April Fool, which I cited as 4.5 minutes long, starts off with a fucking bang. I was born an April Fool, full of gold, to a brothel, big-ass guitar riff, and saved all my sins, big-ass guitar riff, you know? Hit me with something. Don't lull me to sleep with this bullshit. Deer Hunter Act 5, problem I have with that album too, you know, like, their sound got glossier on Act 4, and I was okay with that because the song structures were back to what they had been in the early band's career, unlike Migrant, which was a boring fucking 4.5 song fest. I think like every track on that album was that length. Then you get to Act 4, they're mixing it up again. 9-minute songs like fucking, what the hell is this song? A Night on the Town, you know, and some other fun stuff. But then they hit you with Act 6, and it's all like 4.5 to 6 minute long songs, but they all have the same structure. It's the same intro bullshit, the same boring. I'm sick of it. I'm fucking sick of this song structure. Please, if you're gonna do a standard rock song, you gotta make it distinct, or else I don't give a fuck, and I will stop listening to that fucking band. Please knock it off.